Welcome back to Sunrise at Sea right here on CTV, and I hope you're having a wonderful show with us. Remember, you can be a part of the show and you can follow us on our social media handles, and that's at CTV Uganda on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We are also streaming live on our Facebook page, and that's at CTV Uganda, and on our website www.ctv.co.ug. Welcome back to the show. It's time for our views. My name is Apollo Sarah once again, and in studio with me are the ladies as usual. Sandra Cope and Shivan Auma. Hello, ladies.
Hi, Sarah.
Thank God it's Friday. Enjoyments on enjoyments.
And it's Sandra's birthday.
Yeah, and it's also Sandra's birthday. Happy birthday, darling.
Thank you.
You know, we should have like confetti and a smoke gun and like balloons, you know, falling in studio right now. It's your birthday.
Look at Shivan's face. I'm all up for that.
I've been anticipating this for a very long time. Like during the show, during the course of the show, you say, "Oh, my birthday's coming up. My birthday's coming up." You know, celebrations.
Very excited.
We're going to spend money, enjoy. It's
Enjoyment.
Friday. So today on our views, ladies, we're going to be discussing something that triggered me and actually had me thinking a lot. Have you read the book The Nice Girl Doesn't Get the Corner Office by Lois B. Frankel?
Have
you read the book?
Around to it. I haven't yet.
Have you heard of the book?
Yes, definitely.
So a friend of mine was talking about the book yesterday, and she suggested it to me to read. So I perused through the book, and there is always the misconception that you can't be likable and successful. And for me, I thought that for a lot of strong women in this world, from Joan of Arc, from Hillary Clinton, Michelle Obama, Oprah Winfrey, these are all women that have been loved by the public. But when you do talk to people who have worked with them, they're like, "Oh man, that's an iron woman." When you hear names like Margaret Thatcher, you're like, "Ah, that's an iron woman. That's a strong woman." When you hear names like Rebecca Kadaga, you're like, "Yo, don't mess."
Another woman.
She comes and you're just immediately intimidated by her presence.
I met her at the supermarket sometime.
Yes.
Luzira side.
Yes.
And she was reading the newspaper at the newspaper stand.
Yes.
And I was there, so I did a double take, and I was like in awe, and the lady at the counter, she was laughing.
I got to meet Amelia Chambade sometime. We were at a hotel, and she was the guest of honor, and she was in the washroom, and then she asked me for some hand lotion. My mind went blank. I started freaking out. She's like, "No, relax, just some hand lotion." And then she started making, small talk with me, conversation. I even got her number. But when you hear names like this, these are women who have made profound achievements in their lifetimes.
Yes.
These are women who have been the first to do the things that they have done in their career. These are women who sit at the table with the big boys and challenge them, and they even quake in their boots. So it had me thinking, how can I be my nice self and still be successful? Because I thought for women to get success, you have to be as assertive and strong as a man. And that is where all your femininity goes out the window, so that you have to be aggressive and tap into your masculinity and, make moves and make the ground shake. I thought that was the case until I read this book, The Nice Girl Doesn't Get the Corner Office. And you would think that it's in the title, but actually, no, the book encourages women to tap into their femininity to make headway. Be kind, be nice, but while being assertive. Being assertive. So today, for our conversation on our views, we asked, can women achieve high levels of success by being likable? Ladies, do you think so?
I guess it depends where. Because in most instances, often than not, women get judged before you even say anything. They will tell you that's a man's job. A woman can't do it. That's a man's job before you even do anything. Yeah, and I don't think, definitely, in my opinion, I don't think that is true. I mean, I look at women like Mrs. Winnie Byanyima.
Yes.
I look so up to her. She gets the job done, and I love that even Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, they get the job done. So don't say it's not a job for a woman.
Yes.
You get, huh? But I feel that women have to be more assertive, and they get to this point because they are already judged before they do anything.
Yes.
So like you have to roll up your sleeves and you have to be very assertive, especially if you are in a field of men. Because the men, most men, not all men,
yes,
most men will think you can't get the job done. I have this friend, she worked for one of the biggest telecommunication companies here in Uganda, and she was the head of PR. And she told me there was this one time when they were going for a meeting, yeah, with some other people, and they were discussing with board of directors and everything.
Yes.
And this guy who had come in for the meeting turned to her. She was also seated at the table. She was the only woman, and told her to make him a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
she was like, no, I'm not going to make the cup of coffee. What? Go get it yourself, or ask your friend on your left-hand side.
Yes.
But you see what that means. Automatically, he thought, she must be the tea girl or something.
Mm-hmm.
You get? So there's that perception, and that's why women, when they come to such areas, they know they are coming into an arena.
Yes.
So they come ready.
In my perception, I would say it's quite unfortunate that the culture, even the kind of society that we live in, has made women feel and act a certain way. To the extent that when you even get the job done, even when you're moving into a new job or you have a new role and you're supposed to carry it out, you develop a sort of, you build walls around yourself to an extent that it actually gets toxic. You think everyone is out to get you. Yet actually, in actual sense, not everyone may be out to get you. However, that is not our fault. It is what society, it is what culture, it is the environment that we work in that has made us behave the way we behave. We are behaving in a way that everyone seems like they're out to get us. Everyone is out to make us fail. Everyone is out to pull the ladder as we climb. So for very many women out there, I would understand where they're coming from, that they are fighting tooth and nail and not allowing anyone to get in their way. However, the question is, are you doing it to the extent that you're actually becoming toxic, that someone cannot approach you? For me, that would be my major concern.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. But I feel, Shivan, that there's a difference between being defensive and being assertive. There's a huge difference between being defensive and being assertive. And I feel many women fall into this trap that when somebody comes at them and is trying to belittle them or their achievements, they tend to be defensive. Don't be defensive. Be assertive and be very straightforward. State facts. This person, like I said yesterday, nobody has the right to come and tell you who you are. You know who you are. Not anybody else can tell you that.
Yes.
So you just need to be assertive and rise above people like that, because they have already made up their minds about you. And what people think about you, as I always say, is none of your business. Just keep on doing what you do and keep it moving.
Well, a number of social science research done from NYU, that is the New York University, and from Princeton and from Harvard, have ascertained that likability and success don't go hand in hand for a woman. And that is because society or people believe that when a woman gets assertive and wants the job done, she is going away from the stereotypes that society has placed on women. We are supposed to be soft-spoken, we're supposed to be nurturers, we are supposed to be submissive people in general, in community in general. And so it is ascertained to not that you're not likable, but the index of likability. So and that measures down to your interpersonal skills, and not the fact that you're actually a nice person or not. So when women get the work done, they are celebrated for that, but then they are reprimanded with the way they get the work done. And that is by holding, say, your colleagues accountable for not, pulling their weight. Then just like, she's too much, or she's unbearable to work with, or she's this and that. And many people, even women, are against women who want to get the work done. I don't know if it is an inferiority complex or if it is just a competitive type of spirit or nature, but even so the studies do show that as women, we get punished and reprimanded for the things that we do to get the work done, and not because we are not likable or not, which is actually the funny thing. So anyway, I spoke to one of and I spoke to an experienced marketing coach, and she encourages and teaches female entrepreneurs on how to attain success, and that is in marketing, and that is in career aspirations, and just basically any advice that they need to get forward. And her name is Katende Saidat. I have a video. I wanted her to be here with us, but however I sent her the topic and I asked her to comment on it, and this is what she had to say.
Thank you, Sarah. I do believe a woman can achieve high success by being likable. She can actually go ahead and become a strong leader in the process. As long as right from the very start, she sets boundaries and also high standards of limits people can and cannot cross. So, of course, maybe she's nice, she's non-confrontational, she's warm and welcoming, but at least you know what you can't do and can't say to her. And actually, if you do your research, you'll find that most of the successful leaders in the world use the approach of the more and more things you do for people, the more and more you get them to do things for you. I think this is an adaptation from the book by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. The whole concept behind the book is when you understand people's needs and you do the things that they want, they'll be able to do the things that you want in return always. Thank you very much.
And there you had it, Katende Saidat, and she's a marketing expert and life coach and career coach. And she did say that you can actually be likable and also be successful. And she did attribute kindness and doing, acts of service for people, because when you are able to help people out, they are inclined to help you in return, and that can catapult your road to success in your career, in whatever it is that you have to do. What do you have to say about that, Sandra?
I totally agree. I feel that one of the leadership skills that one should have is you need to understand that when you're a leader, you're not there to order people around. Absolutely. As a leader, you're supposed to serve. Because you lead by example.
Yes.
They're not supposed to fear you, they're supposed to respect you. There's a difference. So that even when you are not there, everybody is in it for the same cause. They're looking at the bigger picture because they have seen you do the work and they're following your lead. So it doesn't, you've seen these companies or different institutions, when the boss is not there, the place is falling apart because they are micromanaging. You know those bosses who hover over you?
Yes, yes.
No. You're supposed to lead by example, and people will follow your lead and know what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, that is definitely true. I mean, it also goes back to the aspect of how are you getting to the road of success, yes? I mean, for very many people, or for most people, getting to the road of success hasn't been easy. You might have to, cross a few wrong paths, probably make people along the way angry. However, the question is, even when you are in that leadership position, or if you're given the aspect of being a leader, or you're supposed to get a job done, how are you doing it? Are you going ahead and, making other people's lives miserable, or are you going to do it in a leadership way? I like the fact that you talked about leadership skills. I am doing a course on actually leadership skills because my leadership skills sometimes can be terrible. But it's very important that you put the people that you're leading first, even before yourself, regardless of what position that you're in. And I feel this is something that very many of us forget, that when you get into these positions, we forget that we were once somewhere and now we are this place. The point is to be grateful for it, not to use it against others.
But then how do you differentiate between, okay, we're talking about leadership here.
Yes.
So how do you handle employees or people who are working in your team who are not forthcoming, who are stubborn, who are selfish, who want it to be about them? Because there are people who don't have a team spirit, who don't have team spirit, and there are people who can just be very difficult and stall the process. And let's not even just talk about success but of an individual, but just the success of the team or the project. So how do you handle those people? Because when you go on to say that, oh, you have to be a leader and not have to be a certain type of way, but sometimes the ends justify the means. And if you have to be Godzilla to get the job done, the job still has to get done. So how do you handle people who are all about themselves and not about team spirit?
Well, things like, and these companies do this, things like team building. Team building really helps because you interact with your colleagues and everything. And I also think delegating work and making that person accountable
For what they're doing.
for what they're doing, but giving them a team and saying so and so has to do this and that and that and that. And if it does not happen, then that person takes the fall. So you don't get to do it. You delegate. That helps. And they need to understand, you also need to make them understand the vision of the company. Yes, teamwork makes the dream work. The vision of the company.
Yes.
And to get to your vision, you have to, the mission is the one that takes you to your vision. It is the car that takes you to the vision. And this is what you do each and every day that you go to work or anything that you want to achieve.
Yeah.
Those little things that you do, waking up, showing up, doing whatever you can each and every day to get to your vision. So
Yes.
they need to understand that. And you can't get to the vision by yourself. Not one person can make a symphony. It takes
Yes.
the whole orchestra
Yes.
to make it. So you have to understand that. You have to make them understand that.
Exactly.
In my perspective, it would probably even go back to understanding the kind of people that you're working with. You might want to get down and understand, okay, what kind of person are they? Are they a people person? Are they an introvert? Are they an extrovert? How do they like? Just getting to know them, it might not be on a personal level, but when it comes to things such as teamwork, it's very important that you actually get to know the person that you're going to do the job with, because you'd want to know that, is she a Muslim? Is she a Christian? So you know you can't bring up subjects like pork. You cannot bring up certain subjects. So get to know the person that you're working with. Understand, you may actually find that you have a problem with someone on the job, or a problem with someone in an organization, or you're in a leadership positions and you feel that the people that you're leading are not getting you. But how about you come down to their level and understand where they're coming from? I mean, would people battle with so many things? I could come to work and I've had one hell of a night, and probably my kids are sick, my dad is not feeling well, and I just have that frustration, and I've failed to leave it at the gate. I've failed to check it at the gate, and I've brought it here. How about you understand what the person is going through? And whether fortunately or unfortunately, some jobs need teamwork. So in order to be a team, you have got to understand the kind of person that you're dealing with. Because if you do not understand the kind of person that you're dealing with, you will definitely go nowhere. You keep clashing, and the clashes will go on. But at the end of the day, the job has to get done.
Absolutely. If you want to go far, you have to go. If you want to move forward, you can only do that by yourself. But if you want to go far, you're going to definitely need a team of people to work with you that will be able to catapult you. But even still, at the end of the day, let us learn to keep the task at hand in mind, at the forefront. And if you are a leader, let that be the only thing that matters. And if you are in a team, let that be the thing that matters, and everything else can come after. Let the project get done, let the work get done, and everything else can come after. Okay, so the conversation does continue on our social media, and that is all that we had for you on this segment of Our Views. But don't go anywhere, because Sandra Kopp will be coming up with the next topic of Our Views. Stay tuned and don't blink.